Hello, and welcome to the Millennial Nutritionist podcast. I'm Isla Garcia, master's degree of nutrition science and registered dietitian, and I'm going to make weight loss realistic, sustainable, and uncomplicated for your busy lifestyle. On this podcast, me and my team of registered dietitians will decipher the latest nutrition research, dissect bad diets, and discuss social media trends for you so you can feel confident knowing what to eat to achieve your health goals. Research suggests that most weight loss programs aren't successful, but my experience has taught me that this is not because the participants aren't committed. It's because those diets are designed by non-nutrition professionals and center around severe restrictions. We are here to provide the facts about the science of weight loss so you can have the success you want and continue living your best life. Hello, it is Isla, your founder, CEO, and host of the Millennial Nutritionist podcast. And today I'm going to do a little quick and dirty episode, I hope, on your spring weight loss plan. I am sick. Well, I just have a cold, and because I'm pregnant, I can't really take anything but Tylenol and water and resting. So I look a little haggard because I really want to get this podcast episode out. And I have to do it today, and I really didn't want to put makeup on, and I probably look even more sick than I would normally. But I just really feel like I enjoy some of these episodes. I feel like this is a little bit of a repeat of things that I've already talked about before, but I was like looking back through the analytics, and when I did like the 2023 your 2024 weight loss plan, it did pretty well. And so if you enjoy these, they're really easy for me to make and I can do them. I've thought about some things that I think would be easy this time of year to take advantage of, but then also some challenges that might hold you back. And then just like a random thing that I feel like people ask me about. So I will just like put it in. It doesn't really have anything to do with spring, but I was like, let's just put it in as a fifth tip because you know how I like doing 5 things. Announcements. So there are 2 more spots to work with us this month for April. The price will go up next month, just FYI, because I've actually like been slowly increasing it because it's probably the last month I can take people. I might be able to take people like the first 2 weeks of June. But beyond that, I won't. So just FYI, you can go ahead and sign up now or wait till next month, but the price will be a little bit higher. So make sure to sign up. And then for Millennial Living, I did post how to make a tzatziki dip. Last month, I have recorded a avocado mousse recipe that I made. I just need to edit it, so that probably won't happen until next week. But I have uploaded a tzatziki dip food demo last month at the very end of it. So make sure to check that out if you feel like you are in a rut with how to eat vegetables. This is a good way to use your yogurt if you have any. I feel like I always like randomly buy yogurt for stuff, like plain yogurt, and then have a bunch left over. And this is a good way to use it before it goes bad, and it helps you to eat more produce. But without further ado, let's get in our 5 tips, or your 5-point outline of how you're going to lose weight this spring or your spring weight loss plan. So number 1, walk, exercise more. This whole idea actually came to me because I was talking to a friend last night who was saying that she really needs to lose weight. And I just told her, I was like, I didn't want to go ahead into everything that I do as my profession because she wasn't exactly asking. But I just was like, the number one thing I think you should start with is just like exercise because I don't have anybody who comes to me who has a really perfect exercise regimen. Even if they work with a trainer, typically they're only doing like strength training and they're not also doing some sort of steady state cardio. And so it's just a really easy way to jumpstart your weight loss because you burn more calories. I think the harder part about it is that it takes more time than like just making a different choice. But in a way, it is easier because you just have to do it. There's not like all these rules or that could get you confused or like I don't know, emotional ties to things, like, it can be around, like, food. You just have to do the thing. Um, Especially with the daylight savings changing, we have a lot more daylight now after dinner, and so I've been encouraging a lot of my clients to walk after dinner to get more steps in because it's great to do that instead of, like, walking on the treadmill just because of your mental health. You could also make sure to walk in the morning if you want. I enjoy walking to my morning coffee shop if you live in a city or like live in an area where you can walk to things because we are also getting longer daylight in the morning as well. Another thought with this is I know I didn't want to make this a separate tip, but I know that a lot of my clients with kids have been saying that they are excited to have more time to exercise when their kids get out of school in probably a month or so. And this is exciting, but I honestly see the opposite when I work with moms during the summer. It seems like having their kids at home sometimes makes it harder because they feel like they have to entertain them. So I would highly recommend you to incorporate your kids in your exercise regimen. I had a client recently who said that she had them exercise with them or even like found kid exercise videos, I guess is a thing on YouTube, and had them do their own exercise while the mom did her own exercise plan. And it's just a really good habit for your kids to see that exercise as a part of a healthy lifestyle. And I think kids enjoy it because they're typically already like active and fit and need to get energy out. You could also walk at the park. I did this like kid weight loss education program like forever ago, and we utilized the public parks where we educated on nutrition, and then we had a trainer come in. But the whole point of that is just to say that it was really awesome to see the parents would still go to the park on the nights where we weren't having class and would either walk with their kids or their kids would play on the playground while they walked around, or even if it's like little league baseball season, walking around the baseball park while your kid is playing or all things that you could do. And especially like being active on the weekend, finding things to do, whether it's like go to the farmer's market or have them ride a bike while you walk. I mean, a lot of my really good memories are actually exercising with my parents, not in like a weird way, but in a way that's like we just did active stuff together, whether it's like you go to like a nature place on the weekend and you walk around and look for animals, go to the zoo, stuff like that, where you can get in your steps. And it also is helpful for them long term to know that we are active on the weekends. The second tip for your spring weight loss plan is to enjoy the spring produce. I mean, my clients right now are not having problems with this, but definitely take advantage of all the great tasting food. Even if it's the same things that you normally eat, it's probably going to taste a lot better, especially like strawberries. I mean, all the berries right now. I forget like how flavorful they can be when they're actually in season. Melon, I feel like I don't know if it's technically in season, but it's on sale, so I assume it kind of is getting there. Asparagus, we're definitely in asparagus season, so you can get the fat ones at Aldi. The rest of the year, we only get these like little shrimpy ones, and they feel like they are so hard. Right now, we get the big fat juicy ones, and I've been enjoying putting them in so many things. Peas are in season as well if you enjoy fresh peas. Especially my California clients, I'm so jealous. They have all the good tasting produce. When you eat more produce, it helps you to eat less calories but more volume. That's my kind of like dieting plan as far as being pregnant right now. Not that I'm trying to diet to lose weight, but I just want to make sure I'm not, gaining too much weight if I can help it. And if you're hungry, you want to eat something, you want to fill your stomach with something, and doing that with produce is the way to do it. I've really been enjoying it, just comes to mind like even summer squash, like the yellow squash that I think only tastes good this time of year. I've been enjoying just sauteing that with butter as my end of the day meal because I don't like a big dinner. And so you can just have so many different ways of eating produce right now compared to the rest of the year, especially in the colder months where we're like kind of chugging through with our chilies and stuff like that. Use them for snacks or inspo for other meals. One of my go-to recommendations right now for produce as well is doing like a veggie pack pasta salad that I feel like people forget about. I've been enjoying it right now. And you can pretty much, I think, take any pasta salad recipe that you like. There are so many different kinds, and just decrease the amount of pasta and increase, honestly, something like romaine lettuce. I think tastes really good. There's a Greek salad that I make that I'm pretty sure is in Millennial Living because I made it so many times. That's like a Greek pasta salad where you can really load it up with whatever produce you find. But I find that when you add in more produce, it gives a better flavor compared to just doing pasta. I also made a really big pasta salad for the tailgate a while back, and people loved it. And I just loaded it up. I really don't think there's a bad vegetable you can put in a pasta salad. And it's a pretty complete meal with produce and pasta. You could also add protein on top if you want to. So yeah, take advantage of all the low calorie foods right now in the form of spring produce.
Do you love our realistic approach on nutrition but want to dive a little bit deeper? Let me tell you about the Millennial Living Membership Program. This was designed to help you stay motivated and inspired no matter what health journey you're on. We develop monthly nutrition and fitness challenges with prizes you can win if you stick with it to help motivate you through every month. To inspire you, we upload weekly recipes with downloadable food lists, monthly food demos, and we can even have a registered dietitian answer your questions on nutrition and weight loss. Our members form a community with other like-minded people to help support each other on their health journey. If you are seeking a way to stay motivated throughout your health journey with our method in mind, try signing up for the Millennial Living Membership Program for the first 2 weeks free by signing up on our website at themillennialnutritionist.com.
These next two tips are more like challenges that I feel like come up during the spring. And the first one are travel tips. So I feel like all my clients right now are worried about traveling, which we have a podcast. I thought about reposting it, but I have already reposted it because I feel like people travel like all the time. So there's always a need to repost that. But just go listen to it. I'll link it in the show notes or the description if you're watching on YouTube. But overall, my biggest tips for travel is don't aim for perfection, but think of some things you can do. Really living in that gray area, which I feel like is the theme of weight loss, successful weight loss, not doing nothing, but maybe picking some things you can do so you're not totally going off the deep end. A lot of my clients end up just loving to maintain their weight. So if you are okay with that, or like if that, is an accomplishment for you, just think of a couple things that you can do. I was thinking of some examples, and I have a client that she is living her dream life at her aunt's house, I believe in the countryside of Italy, maybe. And I know it's Italy somewhere. I may have just made up the countryside part. But we, talked about what is she gonna do while she's there, and then I checked in with her while she's there because I was checking with clients in between, and we made a game plan before that she thought that she could easily work on 10,000 steps a day because she'll have more time. She'll be able to walk around her aunt's like garden and around the streets and go to like little things, so that's something that she can focus on, and then also thinking of fullness cues. We made a couple of other plans before she got there, but going there, she didn't realize that she would be a little bit more limited in the choices of what she would be eating because it's less like of a eating out situation and more of a whatever her family decides to make that day, which is fine. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just not overeat, and that's fine. That's still eating less than just eating past the point of fullness. So you're still in a calorie deficit. It doesn't need to be that crazy if that's your only thing you can do. So that's just one example if you're maybe going to a family's house or something. The other situation is from another client who went on a family trip to London recently. And so for her, it was different because they were all out of their homes, I think like staying in a hotel or something, and eating out for basically every meal. So although she got to choose everything, there were a lot more temptations and potentially larger portion sizes. So what we did for her was we together looked at the menus before she went and then picked out healthy options wherever she was. Then she also just thought about the high calorie foods that she wanted to eat because there were going to be situations every day where there are lots of high calorie foods. And so for her, she chose having desserts over alcohol because alcohol in England is, like, not that different than what you can get here, and then also the desserts she thought were really good really a lot better than what she could get here. So that's where she spent her calories, and that helps you to have less calories than saying, "I'm just gonna do it all." And so just making little choices like that, although it doesn't seem like a big deal, it can really help, at least to help you stay in the rhythm of things. The other big thing when traveling, I always tell people, is it's just when you come back, because we're not gonna lose or gain weight over the course of a week or 2 weeks. We're gonna lose weight with consistent lifestyle changes for the majority of the year. And so it's just really important for when you come back from a trip to try to get back to things as soon as you can and not let that trip turn into like a whole summer extravaganza that ends up turning into, oh, the fall is pumpkin spice season, then the holidays, and then all the way into like New Year, New Me in January. So as soon as you get back from a trip, just try to get back to things. The trip is over, although it sucks. Get your groceries in order, even if you can order like Instacart from the airplane. Think about how you're going to get to the gym. A lot of my clients end up just taking the next day off, which I think is great, just to get all your groceries, your meals prepped, and just kind of get back to things. And honestly, a lot of my clients, when they get back from vacation, they're like really craving their home cooked meals, their lower portion items, just to feel better. So that's my biggest thing with travel is make a game plan, maybe par down your goals, but still have some goals and get back to things when you come back. My fourth tip or your fourth point in your spring weight loss plan is navigating wedding season. Wedding season is here. We've been living it. I'm personally going to a wedding next weekend, so I'll kind of talk you through what I do. But overall, I think weddings can be hard because a lot of times you don't have a choice over what you're eating at the actual wedding. So my biggest thing was that is kind of the same situation I was just telling you about my client who is in Italy. Is just listen to your fullness cues. Again, the way you lose weight is by eating less calories than what you were doing before. And that is really as simple as it is. So even if it's like I normally would eat a whole plate of pasta Alfredo and I'm just gonna have three-quarters of it, that's less than what you normally would do. That's cutting calories. So listen to your fullness cues. Don't overeat on things. If you do have an option of like a chicken, pasta, like broccoli situation, try to eat the protein and the produce first and fill up on that. And then that way you're not full on the high calorie stuff, like AKA the pasta, the bread and stuff, before you are eating the low calorie stuff. So just a really easy tip there. Make a plan around your alcohol. I see this happening a lot with weddings is it can go on and on all night and the high calorie items are the drinks that come in. So decide how you wanna navigate that. Is it worth it to do it? If you wanna have more alcohol, go for lower calorie options. Champagne is actually, like, one of the lowest calorie options you can have. It's also just, like, low in alcohol content, but that's fine. You just wanna stay away from the super sugary drinks, doing more, like, light beers, vodka soda, gin and diet tonic, any sort of, like, liquor and zero calorie mixer is the way to go if you're doing more, or I don't really think weddings have, like, a really fun cocktail, but if they do, just do one and, maybe drink water the rest of the time or something like that is typically what I find successful with clients. And then treat all your other meals normally. So the wedding event seems to be the hardest for people, but if you're going for a whole weekend, like maybe it's a family event or you're a bridesmaid, try if you can to make the rest of your meals as normal as possible. Like don't treat the whole weekend like a off the grid, none of the calories count type of situation. They do count. And the hardest day is probably going to be the wedding day, especially the wedding meal. So if you can eat breakfast like normally, drink your water, try to exercise, and that way, it's just one meal that's getting in the way, and like I said, you can't make a difference with just one meal. It's the consistency with everything else that makes a difference, so try not to treat the whole weekend as just like a all out whatever type of weekend. I'm going to a wedding with a for friend from college, and I'm driving to Florida, and it will for me, I think, be an all weekend thing, because I have to take the dogs in this, like, long situation. I'll be at a hotel, but that means that I probably won't be able to cook, and I'm gonna be eating most meals out. So, typically, what my game plan for something like that would be is to, like, probably when I get there, just bank on eating a salad out, the next day, try to maybe, like, just go to a coffee shop or even, like, I could pack a yogurt or go to a grocery store and get a yogurt or something. For lunch, again, do probably, like, some sort of big salad, and then for that dinner, follow that protocol that I just explained. So, again, I'm not gonna treat the whole weekend like this, like, whole big extravaganza. I'm going to go into it with the mindset of, like, we're gonna do the best we can. but try to treat the rest of my meals pretty similarly to if I would be at home. Meal delivery kits is my fifth tip for you. This is like the random one because when I even thought about doing this podcast episode when my friend was asking me about telling me she needed to lose weight. She was asking me about how I felt about meal delivery kits. She's like, with my job, I just like don't have time, nor do I really enjoy cooking. And I think that's the thing that gets in the way is I just end up ordering DoorDash and they end up being really high calorie meals. So what do you think about something like Factor meals? And I actually had a new client ask me this as well. And I think they're great. I think they are a modern day convenience that if you have the financial means to do it, go for it because they are typically, I mean, it's kind of like having a private chef. And so that means that the calories are pretty accurate, I would assume. Definitely better than a restaurant meal because they are going to be held accountable for these like standardized options. So you can you can I hate to say like you can 100% trust, but I think you would be able to trust more often that their calories are right compared to eating out because it's also more their priority. I think as a business, a lot of these meal delivery kits want to offer healthy options. And so they're just going to be more concerned with them being low calorie compared to like a salad you eat out, right? Just make sure they're not too many calories is the only thing. I think Factor's better because they and something like is it called Sakara Life? I've never tried them. I think a dietitian designs the meals, and I also know that they're more catered towards being healthy, so I'd assume that they're inherently, like, low calorie, but something more like HelloFresh, I've just run into with clients and even myself that they might not be as low calorie because that's not their design. And so the way you can make it low calorie, I've done in the past, is honestly like take out some of the oil. I feel like there's so many oil in those recipes. And at one point I was just like, why do I add like 3 tablespoons of olive oil in every single step? So you don't do that and it tastes the same. But clients too will sometimes like take out half of the carbs and add in more produce that they buy on their own to supplement the meal. And in that way, you're still using the meal as essentially like a meal plan or just you don't have to buy groceries and something else is creating these menus that you instead of you having to do it. So it's great. It cuts time. It might cut your stress down on it and you're still making sure it's healthy. The other options also, if you wanna do, like, a soft launch into this or, like, lean cuisines, Trader Joe's frozen meals are great. I had one client once, and she, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, ate frozen Trader Joe's meals and lost weight beautifully, so you can definitely do it, and it's healthy. It just might be more expensive is the only reason that I don't do it is because at one point I was, like, doing HelloFresh, and I was like, "These meals are so simple that I could do it myself," and I actually enjoy cooking, so I never want you to think that it's not okay to do just because you don't see me doing it. I think they're great, and if I didn't like cooking, it's what I would recommend people to do over, honestly, like, just ordering meals out. Whew, okay, so that is your spring weight loss plan slash just, like, overall tips. Remember to sign up for our email list. I've been enjoying email because I personally like delete Instagram off my phone after I upload stuff, or I'll just look at things for like 30 minutes on other people's accounts. And I'm just trying to do more things like read and stuff. So, in order to stay in contact with us, I think it'd be a good idea for you to sign up for our email list. I email when we have new podcast episodes because I enjoy that when other people do that for me. We also just do like a month ahead. So if you liked a episode like this, we do kind of like, hey, prep for April with this content to try to help you. And then we do an end of the month, like this is everything we put out so you don't miss anything. So it's really just to kind of help tie everything together because I know we put things out on all platforms. I'm really into email lists, especially with like brands that I like. They totally cause me to buy more stuff than I like, but I do feel like I just like it, I don't know. So, I'm just really into it, so make sure to sign up. It'll be in our description box or on show notes area of the page, but that's it for today. Until next time, bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Millennial Nutritionist podcast. For daily weight loss tips and nutrition information, you can find us on Instagram at the.millennial.nutritionist and on TikTok at millennial.nutritionist. If you find this information helpful, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend who needs encouragement on their health journey. See you in the next episode.